Hello, and a very good evening to all our attendees and viewers who are watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. A very warm welcome to the Saga series. A quick recap for those of you who are new to Pick a Book. Pick a Book is all about reading and more reading and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is the vision of Pick a Book. Currently, Pick a Book marked its inspiring presence in four countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK, with over 1,000 plus readers, 18 regions, and 70,000 plus people inspired through our sessions so far, all in just a span of 1 year. Pick a Book continues to spread its wings across the globe. So, Pick a Book has come up with a new initiative, a brand of its own called Author Saga series, wherein the authors can reach their readers and individuals with a like-minded interest. Authors can also discuss the key insights of their books, and readers can have this wonderful opportunity to know more about the book from the author himself. So today, the author who is gracing us is Mr. Priyaji Peiris, with his book Fart Out Loud. So
Thank you,
welcome,
Swarna.
Priyaji.
Thank you, Swarna. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. And Priyaju's career started as an aerospace engineer, and after working for Boeing for many years, moved to take on a lead role at Tesla. He have worked across 5 countries and many different industries, varying from aerospace, automotive, marketing, fintech, and now an entrepreneur. He's a founder of Go Lankans and GoCade, a platform to support a startup ecosystem in Sri Lanka. With this beautiful introduction, let me now welcome Ms. Priyaji Peiris. And
Thanks again,
pleasure.
Swarna. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. The bio is very interesting. Like, you are into aerospace and then moved on to different, playing on different roles, and then finally to an entrepreneur. So yes, so we wish to know more about that, little more time.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Thank you. Okay, so first of all, from Pick a Book and every one of us who is watching us live, and everybody who's going to do that, is we wish you congratulations on this wonderful book, and we wish you a long way in writing.
Thank you again.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
thank you. And are you an avid reader, by the way?
Yes, I am. Actually, I do love to read. Unfortunately, there's so many content out there. So, and you like to learn a lot of different things, right? And then after when you start working, it's pretty hard to actually spend some time. So something I adapted over the, let's say, one of my friends actually referred me to audiobooks, and I started doing that about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's amazing. So I went through like tons of books, and if I really love the book, I definitely gonna purchase the paperback and definitely highlight and do whatever to take the notes. So it's an interesting journey, right? Like, because the whole book industry has changed so much, and it's so accessible for all of us. Get
Mhm.
all this knowledge from somehow the best possible way that we can get it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is very, very true. In fact, previously it was just a book. We have to buy a book and read, but now we have many opportunities. It's available online in Kindle version and the paperback option, and also, we have many other options as well. Audiobooks, and that's one great option. Even I would love to, opt for an audiobook. That's a great way of learning what we're reading. And
Correct.
yes, so how did your journey as a writer start in first place? Like,
Oh, that's very interesting. It's actually one of
mm,
my life ambitions or a dream, I would say. When I was 17, 18 years old, I thought I actually really want to write a book. I don't
mhm,
know what that was at that time, but it's just like a random thought. I put it out there, like, okay, I think that's going to be one of my key, goals I'm going to put in. Definitely it took me such a long time to get there, but
mm,
it's just kept, when you get to work, when you actually start studying and this and that, like you just never had the time, right? Or we never have the material to actually do it.
Yeah.
Writing is about something like you got to write something passionate. You're passionate and you're also knowledgeable about it too. So
Mm.
that's why it obviously took some time. Even for writing it, this book itself took me like 3 years. First when I started
Mm.
it, I started when my son was born. And then in the middle of the night, I wake up and I started writing articles. I thought that would be a great way to share my knowledge or experience to somebody else. Started writing article, and week or two later, I've written like 30 pages. And then I'm like, oh, why stop now? Like, keep going. So it ended up being like 100, pages, and okay, it's good. It's time to develop it a bit more. So yeah, that's how where I started and kind of end up being in the book,
Yeah.
a book like this. So
Superb. That was awesome. A simple every first step. I mean, simple first step of writing one article has taken you, to a bigger step of fulfilling your dream of writing a book. That
yeah,
was
that's exactly.
truly that is beautiful. Okay, so what motivated you to write this book? Yeah.
That's actually okay. So as you mentioned, like my career spans from engineer to multiple different roles now, kind of entrepreneur, but
Mm,
like helping coaching people and all that. But when I was engineer, like I always we was told in university, or our parents or family or whoever that is, guidance, give us the guidance, you do the right thing, do hard work and everything. But then when you start working, it's actually not doing the actual work gets you places in some sense. That's, at least that's my experience. So, and I've seen a lot of other people around me have the similar experience, and these are brilliant minds, brilliant people, extremely talented, but they don't seem to go like advance their career. They get stuck in certain
mm,
places. So I'm like, okay, there must be something that we're doing we're not doing, because everybody else who seems to be not doing much work actually going forward in their careers. So then when you look at it, when I looked at it, like, okay, this must be something new. So I started taking notes. So like observing different people, different companies, different positions they're holding, and then realize, okay, they're doing certain things different. They have different people skills. They have different ways of talking, different ways of approaching other people. How they collaborate or work together with other people is different. So that's the point I realized, okay, I need to try this out. I gotta, see if this works. So start adapting a few of these tactics. Oh, it works. So, it starts slowly changing my career as well. And it's like, then it's snowballed to the thing, like, and then after about 10 years later, like, okay, I gotta write this. And in a way, in a nutshell, I mean, I can kind of get to you about the point that, why I came up with such a title, Thought Out Loud, right? So it's,
yeah, that's what my
yeah,
next question is
maybe,
going to be. That's the interesting question. Why
yeah.
is that title that way?
Yeah, I'll kind of get to that point too, because then I'm looked at, I think I should share these amongst others, these tactics, because it's very important for people, the new people who are coming to the workforce and who are stuck in that middle level, and how can
Mm,
they get ahead? Because these people are very talented.
mm,
They can do a lot of different things than any other people. Even like myself, like there's so many other people, very talented people. So that's kind of what motivated me. I thought, okay, I want to write a book. Why don't I
mm,
use this opportunity to kind of spread the word to the others, and they can gain some experience? These are some simple tactics, but
mm,
in the large game of things, for a person individually, they're not that simple. They're life changing, they're career changing moments. You only get few opportunities at work, at in your life. How you capitalize, and that's something I wanted to put it out in this book. So that's kind of what I was motivated to write this book. So, in answering your first question, I guess.
Yeah, true. That's awesome. So, okay, moving on to my next question. I can't wait to hear the answer for this. Why is it titled that way? Thought
Yeah,
out
yeah,
loud.
it's super
Mm,
interesting. It's actually very funny. Like,
mhm,
so we have all these observations, and you mentioned you have a lot of like-minded people who's joining this
mm,
conversation, even on live. They it's it's actually laid out in the first chapter itself. You go to a meeting like I a few years back, I went to go to these meetings at corporate structure. The last meetings, from the CEO, directors, at top level, and to the engineers and the workers, all the other different many levels of people. So in these meetings, everybody likes to talk, give opinion, give suggestions, ask random questions without any valid data or information. And then all these engineers get bombarded with all these questions. Sometimes the engineers don't even understand. Sometimes even the person who asked the question doesn't even understand what they're asking. So I was just probably speaking to some of my colleagues, and they, do you guys understood what they're talking about? Like, I certainly didn't. I was very honest and direct about it. And I have no idea too. And then we're kind of making the joke out of it. And I don't know which one of us came up with the word part. So we're like, yeah, that's a very, bad smell, bad, bad question.
yeah.
That's the way we kind of like, I said to them, yeah, so
Yeah.
I think we had a connection issue there.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of when I thought like, why don't we do this book so everybody can learn out of it? Because it's an everyday situation that everybody
Mm.
experiences at work. Even normal social life is the same deal, right? So yeah, that's basically how I came up with the word "part out loud." But
Yeah.
in the book itself, I kind of highlight that we all can learn out of this, right? That's the important part, whether it's the right thing to do or wrong thing to do, but we all need to
Mm.
learn and from these experiences.
Yes.
So if somebody has to do fart out loud, you have to make
Mm.
that opportunity work for you, and have a tactic about it, a
Mm.
tactic to make yourself stand out, build a great image for yourself.
Yes. Great. That was awesome. True. And how many chapters does this book constitute of?
So 7 chapters. Actually, the yeah, 7 chapters. One of the interesting chapter is it's called "Get Dumb to Get Ahead." So it's kind of going back to the point of like, don't be really smart. Don't show that you're really smart. Just be
Yes.
dumb, act dumb. So it's something that we all need to learn, and I think that's something a lot of people
Mm.
can take. And I definitely had my frustrations, my experiences. That I try to be smart. I try to show that okay, I know this. I can do this. Try to show the world, but the world doesn't see it the same way. So maybe it's something that chapter is something I really passionate about, and something I really learned and experienced and actually worked out well for my career as well.
Okay. Great. So, I mean, while writing these things, right? So, is there any point, where you got stuck and have to, think of it, postpone a bit, or any difficulty, faced while writing this, or any particular chapter, or any particular point you took time to explain?
Yeah, I mean, okay, the writing wise, okay. First of all, I'm not a writer. So when I started writing, I'm like, I just put all the things that came onto my mind, and I just like blurted out, start kept going. And then
Mm.
after a while, I kind of looked at how can I make this interesting to an audience. So that's kind of why I incorporated a lot of stories to it, because and they are, I wouldn't say they are 100% real, but they are inspired by real stories, real people.
Okay.
That's one of the key points of the book, because we can read all these theoretical books, but in real
Mm.
life, it's a different story.
Yes.
So all these are from people who I know, myself, and experiences I have gathered over the years. That's kind of why I mean that's something put into word that is very tough for me, because you're kind of creating the situation and you try to creating like conversation during the whole book, so reader
Mm.
keep interested in it, and
Yeah.
at the same time you put really important information there so they can
Mm.
use it, and
Mm.
try to be funny at the same time so they keep interested in reading the book. So I mean those are challenging things, but it's part of learning, in my perspective.
Yes. Superb. So somewhere these life, it's always these live examples or live experiences or the real time examples is what that keeps the audience stuck to the concept. That is what that makes it interesting rather than a theoretical approach in writing. So
Correct.
adding fun is like adding an icing on the cake. So I think
Correct.
you've covered almost all the flavors.
Thank you.
Good. What can those who read this particular book get out of this book? I mean, as the title says, make noise, break rules, and get ahead. So, what is that they need to get in, make noise, and get into heads?
So I think one of the key learnings, I would say is, we, when I was growing up, even throughout my career and even today, right, we always get these barriers. Some people may say, okay, it's not going to work. Some people say, okay, this is how it should be done. Or our social norms have ways of doing things, certain things, and our all these different barriers, hurdles, I would say, but that should not stop you trying to achieve what you want to do in your life, right? I think that's what's important. So in this book, that's what I want the reader to get to. Don't get stuck because of that you didn't get an interview, or you didn't get the job. Don't get stuck because somebody, your manager said no, you can't do it that way. So because as soon as you get stuck, your career is stopped. You have a goal, end goal, whether it's 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever that is. You have a goal. Don't get distracted, by all these different things. We are in a world that we can get distracted very quickly. So in this book, what I want to achieve is push yourself, to the limit, to your boundaries, and even stretch the social norms. And that's why I want people to break the rules, because all
Mm.
this corporate structure or social norms we set up to make people mediocre, in my perspective. So
Mm.
rather than that, be better, be great, because each and every one of us is have great talent somewhere, great skill that can contribute to the world, right? And each other. So that's why keep pushing yourself. That's what I want to achieve from this book. That's the message, something I want people to get out of this book in a nutshell.
That's superb. That's superb. Actually, that is, yeah. So now I got the whole gist of this book. So what is supposed to, I mean, so ladies and gentlemen, as Priyaji said, I mean, it's his perspective. You can also try on your own. You have to have your goal for life. So the end goal is still there. So there'll be many distractions, many people stopping you, or many people, pushing you in wrong ways, and You might be, hitting a big rocks in between. So, but still, your end goal is your end goal. So you have to push yourself, whatever it takes, even if it takes making a noise or breaking a rule. You have to do it and go ahead of it. So that's when you are going to achieve what you want to achieve in life. So that's a very good point mentioned here. So thank you so much for that. And then, yes. And what is the key takeaway if you want to say to our audience? So what would that be?
Um, don't stop believing yourself.
Mm,
Don't doubt yourself. Keep going. Keep going. Each and every one of us have great abilities to achieve things. Keep going. And if you get stuck, reach out. There's so many people that you can help you. 6 months ago, I have never written a book, right? And I published a book. So if I can do it, anybody else can do it too. It's simple as that, right? I learned so much out of it. And whether you achieve it or not, your goal, you tried. And then you learn something out of it. That's very
yes,
important.
yes, that is true. That is true. Very exactly said. Very rightly said. Because even if you try, if you don't try, it's a mistake. Even if you try and you couldn't achieve what you exactly achieve, what you exactly want, but still you have achieved something by starting, taking the first step. So
Correct.
instead of just not taking a step and regretting for whole life, just go ahead, take the step, and see what the end result could be. So it anyways bring you from level 0 to level 1, if not level 5. It is taking to a different level, next level. So that's a good positive point. So thank you for that. And yeah. So, what are the challenges and advice you would say on self-publishing?
Phew, where do I start? I think, you, whether you have the passion to publish a book or whether you do it for to make the money, you have to understand the audience. You have to understand the market. You have to run it like whether you are doing a business, right? You have to, if you're taking the message to somebody that's what you're passionate about, you still have to sell it to the people. So it's end of the day, it's a product out there. So plan yourself. I think it took me about 3 months to understand the whole ecosystem, at least to get to the point of publishing and getting at where I'm at now. um, so it's a journey that you kind of need to make a plan and then execute step by step. If anybody really wants, direct message me. I can give you that, step by step, some of these things, because as I was learning, I was noting down every one of them because I'm an engineer by heart. So and I put down every things that I've learned. So it might help you in a certain way. So um, just plan yourself properly. I think that's very important for you to set a target, set a day that you're going to launch, and then
Mm,
you stick to it. After launch, it's a different story again. But these are a lot of challenges on the way. From
mm,
writing to publishing, marketing, and selling the book itself is a challenge. But
yes,
don't get disheartened. Once you get there, once you at each challenge knock tick out, you will have a great experience. You will feel really great about it.
true. That sense of achievement is worth it. Because uh, the moment you achieve something, the goal which you have decided or which you have set, so every other pain waves off. So so eventually that works wonders.
Correct.
So thank you. And yes, what's in store for us from you in coming years?
Um, next year, so I kind of well, this was one of my life ambitions, goals too, that I want to do. Kind of thinking about the second book, funny enough. But then but this year I actually want to focus on because all these bad news going around,
Yeah.
pandemic and all different things. So I want to kind of give my expertise and experience where I can contribute as well. It doesn't matter, like, whether I make money or lose money. It doesn't matter. So that's why I kind of started this Golankans, and we launched this new platform called Go Kade in Sri
Mm,
Lanka, to supporting entrepreneurs, people who coming up with new products, new ventures, small to medium businesses who wants to sell their products. They can come into the platform, and it's super cheap, and comparatively to any other platform over there. We try to give it away for free, but obviously it's not feasible to do it with operation
mm,
costs and everything. There's no commitment, so we kind of want to get that out to the market, get to the people, so people can reap benefits out of it. Because this tough time, we kind of need to work together, to get through this. I think that's where I
mm.
can contribute. So hopefully, somebody will benefit from it.
Well, that's so wonderful about that. You are giving everybody a beautiful chance to explore their talents and bring it out. So thank you so much, and we all wish you a good luck in whatever you wish to make it and take it ahead.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Mr. Priyaji. I think this ends the session. That was my last question, and thank you so much for such valuable inputs, and and we appreciate you taking time to share all your experiences and knowledge with our lovely audience here, and to the Pickabook team as well.
Thank you very much, Varna, and thank you, Pick a Book team, for conducting this as well. I
Thank you.
appreciate
We
it.
absolutely love this book for what it holds in terms of, the lessons you have shared and experiences, you have shared as well. So if somebody wants to buy this book, that's available on Amazon, right?
That's correct. It's on Kindle as well as paperback, on Amazon, pretty much every platform. I'm planning to release it on different platforms pretty soon as well. So
Hmm,
it's going to be more available to people.
great. Super. Thank you so much. And so,
Absolutely.
ladies, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that's all. Yeah.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from our author, Mr. Priyaji, today. I'm sure you all enjoy the session as much as we enjoy doing it. So, thank you all. You're there in the room and who are watching us live. Take care. Bye bye. See you all next week. Thank you. Have a good day.